Smogon University is a fan-made website that organizes various competitive Pokemon formats, primarily focusing on single battles. VGC, on the other hand, is the official format of the Pokemon World Championships hosted by the Pokemon Company that is exclusively double battles. There are more differences between these two formats, but singles as opposed to doubles is the main one. Even just this one change makes for a vastly different metagame, where some Pokemon are good in one format but not the other. So in this video, I'll be looking at Pokemon that are good in VGC doubles but bad in Smogon singles. Specifically, I'll be taking Pokemon from the Gen 9 never used tier and below at the time of making this video, and comparing their usage to the last few VGC regulations, E, F, and G. When making this video, I found 3 main reasons as to why a Pokemon is good in doubles but not in singles, which I'll address right now and go further into for each individual entry. First has to do with the legality of certain mechanics as you go from VGC to Smogon, as Smogon has much more restrictions placed on it. Second is a lack of individual focused offense and speed control, and third is having a role that is overly focused on supporting an ally with either redirection, healing, damage increasing moves like Helping Hand, or team-based speed control like Tailwind and Trick Room. With that being said, let's now look at the Pokemon that are good in doubles but bad in singles. Farigiraf is the new evolution of Girafarig, a Pokemon that I don't think many fans would have predicted to get a new evolution. Upon evolving, it gains significant bulk and some attacking power. It has a great new ability Armor Tail, which is just a rename of the existing abilities Dazzling and Queenly Majesty, but those abilities are good too. By preventing priority from itself and allies, Farigiraf completely disrupts Fake Out from Rillaboom and Incineroar, Prankster moves from Whimsicott and Tornadus, Thunderclaps from Raging Bolt, and Extreme Speeds from Dragonite, all of which can be very threatening to your team. Its main role is a Trick Room setter and supporter, using moves like Helping Hand to boost allies' attack power. However, in singles, none of these roles are needed. I'm not a big singles player, so correct me if I'm wrong on this, but speed control is generally more individual focused rather than team focused. What I mean by that is instead of Tailwind, Trick Room, or Icy Wind, players tend to run Choice Scarf, speed boosting status moves like Dragon Dance, or speed boosting attacks like Flame Charge. Multiple Pokemon on your team having a Choice Scarf isn't an issue for singles players, as there is no duplicate item clause like there is in VGC. So immediately, Farigiraf's main role as a Trick Room setter is pretty much useless. Boosting your allies' attack power with Helping Hand is also useless, and stopping priority isn't useless in singles, but very niche at best. You may have heard before that Incineroar is, quite good. If you know anything about VGC, you'll already be familiar with how good this cat is. But just as a quick recap for any singles players who might not be as familiar, Incineroar has a great typing, great defensive stats, the ability Intimidate, and moves like Fake Out, Knock Off, Parting Shot, and Helping Hand to make it the ultimate support Pokemon. It consistently ranks as the top 3 most used Pokemon in pretty much every single VGC format it has been legal, even in restricted metas where Pokemon like Xerneas and Kyogre are legal. In singles though, it ranks in the NU tier with Pokemon like Vileplume and Quagsire. In doubles, Intimidate is an ability that lowers the attack of both opponents, and with switching out not being as common in VGC since it is both faster paced and allows you to bring 2 fewer Pokemon per battle than singles, those attack drops are extremely valuable. Same goes for Fake Out, a move that allows your partner to set up in doubles. But with no partner and only one opponent at a time in singles, these assets are borderline useless. If you want a Dark type, you'll use Weavile, Meowscarada, or Kingambit. If you want a Fire type, you'll use Cinderace, Gouging Fire, or Iron Moth. If you want an Intimidator, you'll use Landorus Therian, Hisuian Arcanine, or Salamence. Incineroar's whole kit feels tailor-made for doubles, making its use in singles not good at all. Indeedee Female has consistently been one of the best supporting Pokemon in VGC, mainly due to 2 things, Follow Me and Psychic Surge. Follow Me is just so valuable that nearly every Pokemon with access to Follow Me has seen use at some point. What really sets Indeedee apart though is Psychic Surge. With the Tapus no longer in the game, these are the only Pokemon with terrain setting abilities in the game at all. What's so good about Psychic Terrain in doubles though is the ability to block priority. This means those same common priority attacks that I mentioned with Farigiraf, like Fake Out from Incineroar, Extreme Speed from Dragonite, and Thunderclap from Raging Bolt. In singles though, having these characteristics are pretty irrelevant. Redirection is completely useless, and Psychic Terrain is pretty useless for defense, as in singles, Psychic Terrain is used more for the sake of offense. If you want an offensive Psychic Terrain Pokemon though, you'd use Indeedee Male, as it is faster, has higher special attack, and learns Expanding Force. a move that becomes stronger in Psychic Terrain. As good as Indeedee female is in doubles, its roles are just too situational to be useful in singles. In the previous video, I mentioned Tornadus Therian as one of the best singles Pokemon that's bad in doubles, and for this list, we have Tornadus Incarnate. Tornadus Incarnate is the premier Tailwind setter thanks to its ability Prankster, as well as the best manual weather setter since it gets all 4 weather setting moves. When raining, its signature move is a perfect accuracy spread move with a chance to lower the opponent's speed by 1 stage. But really the main draw of Tornadus Incarnate in doubles is Prankster Tailwind. The reason that Prankster Tailwind is so good in doubles is that the speed boost activates on the same turn the move is used, allowing for your partner to immediately have doubled speed. In singles though, you have no partner to immediately take advantage of this speed boost, meaning that Tailwind's effect really only lasts 3 turns. Manual weather setting is also not super viable in singles either, as with no partner, there's no one to redirect or fake out, and no one to immediately take advantage of the benefits of weather. If you want to be more offensive, Tornadus doesn't really have great options, making it a victim of Reason 2. As a special attacking flying type, its only stab options are its signature move Bleak Wind Storm, Hurricane, and Air Slash. Outside of stab moves, it's not bad, with solid attacking moves like Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse, and Psychic, but other Pokemon just do this way better in singles, like Darkrai, Walking Wake, and Goldengo. Another prankster Pokemon that's great in doubles but not in singles is Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl's main use in doubles is as a dual screen setter with Light Clay, although it is fairly versatile as to what kind of supporting moveset you want to run. Thunder Wave, Taunt, and Parting Shot are common options in addition to dual screens, and for attacking moves, Spirit Break is its most consistent move, but you could also run Fake Out or Sucker Punch if you want priority. These are all things that are really only significantly relevant in doubles though. Since entry hazards are more common in singles, so is entry hazard removal. One of those hazard removal moves, Defog, also removes the opposing side's Light Screen and Reflect, which I will admit is a niche interaction since the distribution of Defog was nerfed, but it is still one of the reasons contributing to Grimmsnarl's lack of use in singles. Fake Out is pretty much useless in singles as I mentioned with Incineroar, meaning its support role is pretty much limited to Thunder Wave, Taunt, and Parting Shot in singles. If you want to go offensive instead with Sucker Punch, I mean King Gambit is literally right there, and if you want to stay defensive, you would use Clodsire, Garganacl, Gliscor, or Galarian Slowking instead. The last Pokemon I'll be talking about is yet another prankster user, Whimsicott. Along with Tailwind like I mentioned with Tornadus, Whimsicott will usually run supporting moves like Helping Hand, and disrupting moves like Encore or Taunt. This allows its partner to be the main damage dealer, which is oftentimes strong Pokemon like Miraidon, Urshifu, or Chi-Yu. In singles though, there is no partner for Whimsicott to support, so it's going to have to deal damage itself, making it a victim of Reason 3. On its own, it is very underwhelming, with its base special attack stat, the higher of its attacking stats, at 77, lower than a Zorua. Sure, it gets good stab moves like Moonblast and Energy Ball, but if you want a special attacking fairy or grass type in singles, you would use Iron Valiant, Clefable, Primarina, Serperior, Hydrapple, or Sinistcha before you'd ever use Whimsicott. As valuable as Prankster is in doubles, it is not nearly as valuable in singles, especially on a mon as weak as Whimsicott. Some recommended sets don't even have Whimsicott using Prankster at all, but instead its alternate ability, Infiltrator. With no way of setting up its offense with moves like Calm Mind or Nasty Plot, and below average defenses that wouldn't even allow it to stay alive even if it could set up, Whimsicott is not used in singles. And those are Pokemon that are good in doubles but bad in singles. Let me know in the comments if you feel that I missed any, or disagree with any of my reasonings. I suggested this video idea in a previous video where I did the opposite, and since many of you supported that idea in the comments, I decided to go through it this video. I was even thinking of making a third video about Pokemon that are good in singles and good in doubles, so let me know if that is something you would like to see. If you want to support me and my channel, the best way to do so is just by leaving a nice comment. I currently do not have any perks for members, so please do not join unless you really want to support me and you are financially capable of doing so. Likes are also one of the ways in which YouTube determines if a video should be passed around to more people, so if you feel that this video deserves it, I would appreciate it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.